Welcome back to another episode of the Jock Podcast. I'm Johnny.
Nick.
Cheers. We made it. Another episode.
Cheers.
In the garage today.
In the garage.
In the garage. All right. So today we're going to be talking about fitness and why men's health and fitness is so important, specifically for our jocksters, about what fitness means in your day-to-day life, how we can become better men. And I know we've got a few points that are really going to hit home for them. Yeah. You excited?
Yeah. I think we have a responsibility to be fit as a man. So yeah, I'm really excited to.
Let's start there, right? Because a lot of people look at fitness as like, oh, I'm going to look good, I'm going to feel good, people are going to like me, whatever. But you said responsibility. I don't think many people think like that. Yeah. What do you mean by that?
Well, that's kind of an umbrella statement, and there's multiple facets. One, like, we have a responsibility because I would say, like, God created us, and what are we going to waste away our lives and let it dwindle? And no, we need to be fit. We need to, like, longevity is an aspect that we need to regard. Like, we need to live a long, healthy life and live out what we're most capable of. Be the most capable we can be. Live to our potential. As a husband, we have a responsibility to be fit and to protect our wife. As a father, we have a responsibility to be fit and protect our children. Also, we have to lead by example to our children, right? I mean, what kid doesn't look at their dad as a superhero? Do you want, you know what I'm saying? Do you want your dad to look like Superman, or you want him to look like the Krispy Kreme guy?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know if there's a Krispy Kreme guy. I don't think there is, but
but you can envision it.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a responsibility in many aspects to a lot of different people, and just as leaders, like it's a calling. It's what we're supposed to do.
So, that makes sense. And then, I mean, on that, like, no one wants to start the episode with death, but like when someone dies, especially of like whether it's a heart condition or from obesity or whatever it might be, I feel like the people around them always look at it like, why didn't I do more when they were alive, to push them a little bit to get, like, no one wants to look back with that regret of there was something I could have done, and but obviously it's on that person, right? You can only do so much as a bystander. But let's start there with. I mean, in my opinion, it comes down to three aspects, right? It comes down to mental fitness, right? How are you mentally going to be there? It comes down to physical fitness, obviously, being able to functional. Not bad. All right, physical fitness, and then longevity, which we'll get into. Let's start with physical fitness. As a fighter yourself, I see you're training for your fight, clearly.
Yep.
Right? Can you tell?
How you doing?
It's only been a week. Physical fitness. I think you touched on it a bit with responsibility and pushing ourselves.
Yeah.
When it comes to physical fitness, how can someone get started on it? Why do we need just talk to me? Talk to me about physical fitness.
Yeah. So we know from one of the catalysts, you can call it, I guess, for Stoicism, Socrates. He has that amazing quote, something along the lines of, it's a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the strength and beauty in which his body is capable. So regardless of where you are on your fitness journey, if you have never had a fitness journey, or if you're that experienced guy in the gym that's been in shape majority of his life, it's important to constantly push that boundary. And even like if putting on your shoes and going to the gym is hard, like, that's the first obstacle we need to overcome. Like there's no place on the graph where it's not worth starting. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think about it more from like for myself, I train and I'm fit in like the everyday functional life of things. I'm not really training to like be an athlete or anything like that. But I do it more so like I started when I was 28, about 12 years ago. My brother Joe called me Love Handles. I was a little chubby. I had the Italian like short guy Love Handles, so it was funny in high school. You can make fun of people, whatever. He called me Love Handles. It stuck with me.
Man.
I was like, damn, I gotta change. So I did. I started working out. And it's funny, once you start seeing progress, you become addicted, and you're like,
Yeah.
and then on the flip side of it, once you are in a good fitness routine, which we will probably talk through, um, when you let when you get out of that for like even a couple weeks, you could feel it. You could feel
Yeah.
yourself, your mental clarity going down. You can feel what feels like people call body dysmorphia, right?
Mhm.
Like your
Yeah.
love handles might be coming back a little bit when
Mhm.
really they're not. Like you're
Yeah.
just letting yourself
Mhm.
go for a couple weeks. Um, but I think what you mentioned, like starting by putting your shoes on and going to the gym, that's the first step. Literally, that's all you got to do.
Yeah, so here's my thing. Life is hard.
Life
Life
is
is
hard.
really, really hard. Um, till death, we're essentially suffering. Like we're living out life to the best of our ability,
Hmm.
but we are on our way to death, right?
Yeah,
So here's the thing.
talk to me.
Either way, you have two decisions. Well, you have one decision. You could choose to work out or not, and here's kind of the end of that line on opposite sides of the spectrum. So either one,
Okay.
you make that hard decision to put on the shoes and go to the gym.
Hmm.
You make that hard decision, you really chase that delayed gratification. You're really making that hard decision to work out when you don't feel like it, to go to the gym, to eat healthy,
Hmm.
to consistently build this routine or
Yeah,
go through this routine. And that's really hard,
yeah.
right? Or you can eat those donuts constantly. You could skip your gym routine. You could sleep in, not care about your physical health, whatever. And then guess what? Years down the line, you're dealing with more health problems,
Hmm.
maybe even depression. And guess what? That's pretty hard, right?
That's very hard.
So they're both hard. Either way, you work out, you don't work out, it's going to be hard either way.
Correct.
Why not choose the hard where there's that delayed gratification, that light at the end of the tunnel? Why
Yeah.
not constantly pursue that?
Yeah. And then I'll touch on that too. Like if you're choosing the heart of fitness and going to the gym, even not going to the gym, working out at home, whatever it might be, it's a fun hard,
Hmm.
right? Like you show up to the gym, you got your chest up,
Hmm.
you go in
Hmm.
the locker room, you're saying hi, you're saying hi to the old man walking
Yeah.
by, right? He's like, "Oh, Nikki, you looking good today? Look at the arms." Like it's fun. Like you'll
Yeah.
start to
Yeah.
notice like you're building a community. Like
Hmm.
if you struggle with like the aspect of going, like I almost encourage you to go to like a burn boot camp or an Orange
Yeah.
Theory,
Yeah.
something that's more of like there's a lot of those social types of gyms now where you
Yeah.
can really,
Hmm.
it can keep you going and it has others that hold you accountable
Yeah.
too, rather than just going by yourself. For me, I like to go by myself because that's like my me time,
Hmm.
right? I love showing up to the gym, saying hi, whatever, and then putting my headphones in and just like maybe looking in the mirror a little bit, but like I'm doing my curls, I'm listening to music, and I'm just like working out and
Hmm.
focus. And that is my hour and a half of the day that is just to myself, to my thoughts. And that's it. And then I leave, and I got my chest up. The post gym feeling when you get your chest up, you're
Oh
feeling
yeah, the
really
pump,
good.
the pump.
Oh boy, you got the pump, you're feeling
Yeah.
good. Then again, the heart of going to the gym, you never regret it after,
Hmm.
right? Like it's not something where you're like, damn, I really hate that I went to the gym
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
And I think you'll start to see that. And yeah, yeah. I think like one good example was PJ, your cousin PJ.
Mm.
We might have him on. We might have him
Yep.
on
Yep.
soon, PJ. He was a college wrestler. He's in
Hmm.
law school now. He's
Yeah.
doing a lot of great
Doing
things.
a lot of
Young
great
kid, young
things.
kid.
Yeah.
But before Nick's bachelor party, we were going to the mountains,
Mm.
and he says to me in the car ride there the next morning, he says, "Oh, Nick dragged us to the gym at midnight last night. At midnight last night, I was sitting on the couch. I was so comfortable, and Nick says, "All right, guys, we're going to the gym." And he says, "You know what? I'm really glad he did that because now I got a good workout in. We had fun, right? Like he pushed us, and now I feel a lot better, right?
Hmm.
That was just a
Yeah.
fun little
Yeah.
example, but no one ever regrets it. Even again, midnight's a bit extreme, probably, but
Yeah. It's really. I said this earlier. I mentioned delayed gratification. This reminds I haven't thought about this in so long, and then we were talking, and it just hit me
Mm,
in third grade.
mm,
Yeah, wow, right?
mm,
Um, there's this. I don't even know I didn't pay attention in school, to be honest. He was. I don't even know what he did. When he came, this guy comes into our
mm,
class, and he's got a bunch of munchkins, and I think he's like kind of talking to us about careers. I don't know. He offers all of the kids in the class a munchkin.
yeah,
He was also coming back the next day,
yeah.
and he said, if you don't want the munchkin today, you get 10 tomorrow.
Okay.
Or you can have these munchkins, and he's like showing us all the munchkins.
Ooh.
I took the munchkin.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fair,
it was a good
fair.
munchkin,
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You
But
enjoyed it?
yeah, but there was probably like 5 kids the next day. It's like 50 munchkins just laying out. Like, I'm like, these are gonna be divided for these kids by 10. And I'm
And you
just
didn't get a munchkin.
no, and
Yeah.
here's like Tommy, like, and
Yeah.
he's not sharing. And like
Yeah,
I'm
no.
like, I didn't get it, but that delayed and it's a little ironic. I'm talking about munchkins, but when you have this goal, right? This fitness goal, whether it's your first time being there and it's to lose 40 pounds, 5 pounds, whatever the case may be, or be a world champion in MMA, you have to see past those hard moments. You have to callous your mind. You have to dig deep. You have to constantly have that vision in mind.
Mhm.
And when you continually push through that and you hit those milestones, that feeling, not only never mind the feeling you get when you're successful, even if you fail and don't hit your goal, what you're gaining from that journey you're going through, it's that corny saying like aim for the moon and you'll land from the stars, right? Like what you get from that journey is you can't teach it. Like that delayed gratification, and it gives you a better understanding of
Mhm.
it and that
Mhm.
concept.
Mhm.
And once you get it, then
Mhm.
all of a sudden it's easy to. I'm setting another goal. I'm setting another goal, and
Yeah.
then constantly pursuing
Oh, well,
those.
then you feel unstoppable, right?
Hmm.
You're like, damn, I just did this, this, and this.
Hmm.
What can't I do?
Yeah.
So then you start setting more
Hmm.
goals. And honestly, things are just coming to you. That's what I've
Yeah.
noticed too.
Hmm.
Like once you're on a physical journey, like uh I feel like opportunities come to you,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
it could be things as much as being at work, right? And you're in a meeting with people and you notice people look at you a little differently
Hmm.
when you're in shape and you're the
Yeah.
guy who's like people take you more seriously. Like I get appearances and everything,
Hmm.
but the guy who is in shape in especially in the corporate environment where you're sitting down all day,
Hmm.
there's got pizza for lunch they're bringing in for
Yeah.
celebrations and there's a lot you look around there's a lot of people who are out of shape in the corporate sphere
Yeah.
like you'll notice if you're fit and you're in shape and you're the average joe working your 9 to 5 job like people are going to start taking you seriously you're going to have more
Well,
opportunities.
you know what it says in that, especially with like current society and that common sedentary lifestyle,
Hmm.
and you're sitting in that conference room, and at that conference table, you have Tommy,
Tommy.
who's ripped to shreds.
Yeah.
When you look at him, it's not like so much how he looks. It's like, wow, this guy's doing what I do every day, but he's going home and doing this. He's got this in the tank. Like this guy's got this
Yep.
kind of dedication, this kind of
Oh,
discipline.
for sure.
So you look at him a little bit
Yeah.
differently, you know?
Well, hopefully then that sparks other people because it's the same with in the gym concept. The hey Nick, you're looking good. It's the hey Tommy, you're looking good. When do you have time to do this? What are you
Yeah.
doing? Like we're
Yeah.
working the same job here, but you're jacked and I'm not. Like
Mhm.
maybe it gets that other person. You become more of like that inspiration for someone
Mhm.
else to
Yeah.
say, how can I do that? And then you have more of like a mentorship role.
Yeah, and if you are our more experienced jockster and you are already in shape, I encourage you pull someone up,
Oh
bring
yeah,
them on the journey with you.
yeah.
It's how good does it feel like when you have somebody in your inner circle that's just pushing you and telling you you can do
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
You know.
And then I think on the flip side, it's important to notice that like unless you're at the wrong environment of a gym or a or again like in Orange Theory, Burn Boot Camp, something like that, people want you to succeed and they want you like also people so a lot of times at the gym are more focused on themselves and they don't really even
Yeah.
notice
Yeah.
other people
Uh-huh.
that like it may seem scary to go
Hmm.
but the best way that you're going to learn that's how I learned too
Yeah.
like was showing up to the gym and honestly looking around like
Yeah.
just watching
Yeah.
not in a weird way but like
So I got to give a shout out. You mentioned them twice now, to one my fiance Claire, and also Burn Boot Camp, because Claire, she goes to Burn Boot Camp. I've been to those classes; they're tough.
yeah.
Yeah, they are. They're meant. They're definitely for like anybody can go and get a
Okay.
good workout.
Okay.
But the camaraderie aspect, like Claire hit her goal of 250 camps, they call them this year. Yeah, 250 camps in 1 year, and that's after work. That's a lot of dedication,
Yeah.
but everybody's picking her up there. Like everybody's inspiring her, and she talks about that
Okay.
from the camaraderie aspect. Like they're encouraging and they're out for your best interest. Like they're
Mm,
pushing each other,
mm,
and like that's what it takes.
yeah.
And we can have that community in multiple facets of our life. Like it doesn't have to be already established. Like, look at your inner circle. Like, pull those guys up, get them out there. I really do. I know I just said it, and to reiterate, like what they're going to gain from it, and even what you're going to gain from it, it's going to kind of remind you of like why you're doing it, and like, hey, you can do this, and then you want to lead by example, and it'll help push you as well.
Yeah, no, that's important, and I think that brings us to the longevity part of
Yeah,
fitness,
yeah.
right? Because you're doing it and you have the camaraderie, and now you've got your good inner circle in here, and but now we get into why you're doing it for the most
Yeah.
part, right?
So one more thing I just want to highlight real quick. We're talking a lot about like the physical aspect. I do believe, and of course, first of all, any start is good. I saw these chair workouts for like 55 and up or whatever.
Yeah.
And I mean, like they're sitting in a chair doing like abs and whatever. I'm like, what a great way to start. It's
Yeah.
like, right.
Yeah.
It may seem like a moderate or even simple, whatever.
Yeah.
But like that's a start. But the more you become fit, I do believe we were talking about responsibility earlier.
Yep.
You should know how to defend yourself. You should know how to defend. Um, God forbid anything, you get put in this dire situation. You should be able to get your significant other to safety. Should be able to get your kids to safety. I saw a meme, a picture in one of the hurricanes where this first responder is carrying a kid and the wife is next to him, like she's holding everything, and then the husband's in the back, like holding everybody up. He's clearly very overweight. You never want to be in that situation. You don't ever want to be like the reason things are worse. Never mind, like not getting better.
Yeah.
Like you should at least. I'm not saying you need to beat up. Like you need to be able to beat up John. I'm just saying, like, you need to at least be able to be confident. That's the key, right? You don't want that situation to come on. And yeah, it's great, like to walk away. That's what you should do. But God forbid you're ever in that situation where you can't. You need to be confident that you're going to be able to handle this situation accordingly and get your significant other to safety. So maybe, if you're just starting with push-ups in the morning, that's great. And as you continue, maybe find your local gym. Start out with YouTube videos on how to defend yourself.
Yeah.
Just simple things to build your confidence. So if ever applicable, you're there and prepared.
Yeah. Well, I think that's one of those things where it's hard to kickstart people on that if they're not already on that path, because it's a situation like the hurricane, right? That guy probably never thought he'd be in that scenario until you are.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Like, so that's why it's always good if you're on this fitness journey, this physical fitness journey of protection, strength, right? Being able to carry heavy objects. You're always prepared for it. You don't have to just be like, oh, damn, I wish. And then, of course, we circle it back to the beginning. That guy, imagine the amount of regret he would have had if his family didn't survive that hurricane.
That's not something you want to deal with on a daily basis. You don't want that guilt on you. And I know it's hard. I'm not saying like,
oh, it's hard.
Like this is hard. It's a process. Like there's days, like I'm a lifelong athlete. There's days I'm like, F this. Like, like I do not want to go right now.
Yeah.
And then you know what? From going continually and pushing myself through those, it's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But I get it. Like,
oh yeah.
It's not easy to just start and say, especially if you're struggling with obesity and maybe you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe you can't imagine yourself losing a bunch of weight, getting in shape, building confidence, having this strength, but you can. Anybody can do it. We can do all things through God who gives us strength.
Yeah.
Anything is possible.
That's a good point, because like specifically on the obesity side of things, like I could only imagine it's pretty easy to be like, I'm in way too deep. I'm never going to get in shape. Like, look at myself. I might as well just keep eating, or I might as well not go to the gym because I am so out of shape and all that. But like, one, I encourage you to look around. There's so many people that have overcome it. Talk to someone who's overcome it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, where did you just start? And then it's putting the shoes on and just doing it. You just got to start, right?
Yeah.
Once it's getting out of the mindset, which we'll talk about, of like, I'm in too deep.
Yeah, and don't let society be the reason you don't work out. Like that's the one thing I cannot stand. And this is where we need to be better, and like and calling people out, and like I just don't if you feel uncomfortable to go to a gym, like I'm sorry you feel that way, and that stinks. But you know, at the end of the day, one, who cares what people think? And then two, like, believe it or not, most of the people in there, hopefully everybody, they want to see you doing good and they're there to support you. They're not looking to
Yeah.
make fun of you. And that's one thing Planet Fitness did amazing. Like, I'm happy, like, that judgment free zone, like, it may not be for everybody,
Yeah.
but like, I love that
Well,
they did that.
it's almost like a stepping stone, right? Like, you look at Planet Fitness, some people make fun of it, whatever. One, it's a good price point, right? If you don't have the money to spend $300 a
Mhm,
month on a gym,
mhm.
go spend $20 a month and go to
Yeah,
Planet
yeah.
Fitness,
Used to
right?
be 10.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah,
made it.
might be.
Inflation might have hit it a
They
little
had
bit.
2 different,
Yeah,
passes.
there you go.
Yeah.
Whatever, $10, $20 a month.
Mhm.
Do that, so you don't have that. So then you don't have the financial commitment and the financial
Yeah.
stress, right? Then two, a lot of the people at Planet Fitness, one, they enjoy being there
Mhm.
because they feel like they have the belonging. They're at the
Yeah.
gym, and two, they're not the most. I don't want to say this in a bad way, but they're not the most intimidating people in the world. To
Mm.
where if you walk into a Gold's Gym and everyone's shredded
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
huge, Planet Fitness, you're going to see a lot more common man slash woman that it's good to overcome that first step
Mhm.
of like be if you've never gone to a gym before, the idea of it could be intimidating,
Yeah.
right? That's what going to a Planet Fitness, a Crunch, even like
Mhm.
Crunch is almost a step up for Planet Fitness,
Mhm.
but it's still in that category. Go to one of those, and you
Yeah.
should be. They do a great job of inclusivity.
And find a group class if you want. Maybe you're
Yeah.
not comfortable, like, go I still go to the gym sometimes, and I'm still like, "What should I do? Like,
Oh
what's a
yeah.
good workout for this?" I mean,
Just start lifting things.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'll be honest, not often, because a lot of my workouts are like in fight camp are very intentional. But
Yeah.
like general like lifting, I'm kind of like, what's another tricep workout?
Yeah. That's why I
But
end up doing arms 4 times a week.
it's a problem. But no, join a group class. Start
Yeah.
googling like good
Yeah.
beginner workout group classes.
Well, you touched on your inner circle, or your family,
Mhm.
whatever it might be. I think you'd be surprised too that there's most likely someone that you know that
Mhm.
is in the same boat. That's
Mhm.
like, you know what, I need to really kick it into my next gear too. Let's do
Yeah.
this together,
Yeah.
and then you're holding each other accountable.
Yeah.
To try. I mean, try that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Every journey of 1,000 miles starts with
The first step.
the first step. My man. So you want to get into the longevity aspects?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
because that's the most important thing, right? Maybe the most important thing was the wrong word, but
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, because I mean that's very important,
Mhm.
right? Like you're you look good, you feel good, right? You can protect, but why?
Yeah, and also never mind like living well a long healthy life. Yes, but it's also like what is healthy, right? Like we want to feel good. You don't want to just
Oh yeah,
you don't want to lift weights all the time. Like I can tell you this, I did a very poor job of stretching, mobility, flex. I really neglected
you
that.
feel it now that you're in your 30s, huh?
Yeah, but I feel it. I definitely feel it. But one of my teammates, Saeed, he really emphasizes on mobility, and he's really been helping. And I do have to do a lot of intentional work, and it is time consuming, and it's not always the most fun part of the workout. But
Mm,
I feel better, like
mhm.
way better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can punch it like
Wow.
way. Oh dude, it just unlocks things.
Yeah.
So like if we're in this for the long haul, you need to take all that stuff extremely seriously.
Yeah.
Extremely serious. You need to take all that stuff extremely serious. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. I'm a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
flustered.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, that works.
thank you, and whatever. But you get my point.
Yeah.
So if you're taking that serious, you're hitting all that, you're crossing T's, dotting I's, you're gonna find yourself in this flow, right? And then you're living this long, healthy life. Everything. It really like knock it up, make it a priority, right? Make it like the first hour you wake up, maybe whatever. Just prioritize
Mhm.
your health. Know that you're doing it for that delayed gratification for
Yep.
20 years down the road. You ever see that commercial? The guy's lifting the kettlebell every day,
Mhm.
and it was because he wanted to lift his granddaughter or whatever to the star in the
Oh,
tree.
yeah, that's so
I
cute.
love that. Oh, I love
Yeah.
that.
Ah, look at that. And I mean, I a lot of what you said resonates with me,
Yeah.
right? So longevity, a lot of the reason why I mean longevity, you can even break it down, not just living long, but on a day-to-day basis,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Going the whole day.
Hmm.
That can be exhausting
Hmm.
if you're not in shape and mentally there and
Yeah.
everything. So I think a part of fitness is being there on a day-to-day basis of
Hmm.
being able to wake up at 6 a.m. or whatever time you wake up
Hmm.
and go until 10 p.m. or whatever time you go to sleep.
Hmm.
If you're not active, eating right, taking mental breaks, whatever it might be, you're not gonna be able to do that. Or if you are, you're not gonna be there.
Yeah, I would also say uh, a part of longevity would be sustainability.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna create this workout routine, we all have different limits and they can grow, right? But you need to do what's sustainable. I know like some people may do these workouts that aren't always the best for their, hypertrophy or whatever. But like you need to do what's gonna keep you in there. And this is a marathon, not a sprint. So
Yeah.
and
Like
of
don't get in the
course,
gym day one and bench. Part of the 225 club, right?
well, of course, if we have goal oriented training, maybe we have something coming up like a fight or something like that, then it's time to,
Push yourself.
yeah, you got to go. But other than that, like this is a marathon.
Mhm.
So as far as longevity goes,
Mhm.
and that also goes with the saying, as far as what you eat, your nutrition, abs are made in the kitchen, not in the gym. You got to be eating right as well. Um, we
That is very true.
Yeah, you really, what's the point of putting in all this hard work and then going to eat carrot cake? Ooh, carrot cake. That's
Ooh.
carrot cake.
Ooh,
That's a good
sounds
one.
good.
That's what we're doing at our wedding for. Oh, maybe
Oh,
I'm not supposed
really?
to say that kind of stuff. Okay, but
Oh,
yeah. So
that's an exclusive tip. If you're attending the wedding of Nick
carrot
Claire,
cake, it's
carrot
so
cake
good,
will be
so
there.
good. But yeah, so longevity, and then maybe the most important part, getting into the mental side of things.
Huge on that. You've heard me say it every episode about the walks, right?
Mm,
I consider walking a part of being fit, right?
mhm,
Like whether it's again, you're not going to get shredded from going on a walk,
mhm,
but for me, I use it more for mental clarity. When I'm stressed out, I go on a walk. When I Where do I take my strategy calls for the podcast? While I'm walking. I get the brain walking. I've kind of brought into my working life. So for those of you
mm,
working, um, the new age of working is adapting, right? You can work from home. You can work from
yeah.
the plane. You can work from anywhere. Try to do like if your workplace, if you're not in a decision making role, if your workplace is open to that, try to do walking meetings.
Mm,
So I started doing this when I worked at the airport a lot. Like the terminal at JFK was over a mile long. So instead of me and whoever I was meeting with meeting in our offices at the airport were like down and away, no windows, anything
mm,
like that. Instead of us just meeting in like a closet, we called
mhm,
it. Let's walk around the terminal a mile long and talk and get some energy flow, and then you can engage with people. You do whatever. Since then, I introduced it to the new place I'm at. Like, let's walk and talk, and you
mhm,
get your blood flowing, and it's you're a lot more energized, right? And then the from the mental side of things, again, going back to the gym and how that's like my me time and like how I really take. If I don't do those things, I feel terrible.
yeah. I really like what you said, brain walking. That was pretty cool. Brain
Yeah,
walking. Um, I would strongly encourage you guys to not start justifying poor routines or giving yourself the excuse. This is one I hear.
okay, you tell me.
Well, this person drank alcohol all the time. This
Okay,
person smoked until they were whatever. They lived long lives. I know this
okay.
person who went to the gym and was very healthy, and they died of this.
Hmm.
That these anecdotal logical fallacies that,
Yeah,
like, on the grand spectrum, on the large spectrum of things, like statistically speaking, we know working out is good for you. We know eating healthy is good for you
hmm
when it comes to longevity.
hmm
Like, from the mental side, don't allow yourself to fall into this mindset where you're giving yourself this excuse. And then,
hmm
I mean, why do that to yourself, right? Back to that quote from Socrates, your body is just capable of some amazing things. Don't you want to feel that? Don't you
yeah,
want to, even if it doesn't seem reachable right now or attainable, don't you want to, like, just see what you can do, see
hmm
what you're really capable of?
yeah,
So then you start working out, right? And all of a sudden things are just unlocking in your brain. And
yeah.
like that hard thing that you did that you didn't think you could do, you're like, I just did that. Like,
Well, I mean, most of those blockers as to why people aren't doing them are mental blockers.
yeah,
Because once you start doing it, you realize what you're capable of.
yeah.
Also, when you look, we talk about this a lot. You look around and you're like, well, if this person can do it, I can do it.
Hmm.
Right? It's a mental block of like, why can't I do this? It's just because I'm stopping myself from doing it.
Yeah, we suffer so much more in our minds than we do in
Yeah,
reality.
Yeah.
You know, like we put more limitations on ourselves than anybody else. It doesn't matter what anybody tells you can do or what you can't do, right? If honestly, if you believe you can do it, you can. Do you remember that marathon I ran? Dude, I never ran more than, I don't even know how many miles before. I just
Yeah.
signed up. I was like, I'm doing it. Maybe I should have trained more, but
Probably.
finished
Yeah.
4 hours,
You still
9
did.
minutes. Not
Yeah.
bad, right?
Yeah.
We did it in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So that was a hard
Yeah.
one with the elevation. We ran up to Grand Teton Village. But anyway, like my point is, attack these goals and what you get out of it. It's not just the physical, experience. Like you're gonna start believing in yourself. Like, dang, like I'm unstoppable. I can do whatever.
Well, that's huge. And then I want to touch on real quick in this one, going back to what you talked about with the inner circle and those people around you. Overcoming the mental aspect of being physically fit is the biggest step of it all, right? So if you have people around you, especially if you're insecure, right? If you're maybe a little bit out of shape, if you've never done it before, you're obviously, it's going to be natural insecurities. So I think surrounding yourself with a good support system, and then even if you're not surrounding yourself with it, if you're at the right gym, at the right whatever, that's going to be the biggest thing for someone who's ready to go.
Yeah, there's like, I just have multiple teammates that like when it gets hard and like they're sitting there and they're pushing you,
That's
like
huge,
reminding you even at the end of practice, like these are some of the best practices. When you're breaking, when you're pushing past those tough things, you come back strong. Like I'm talking mentally strong, unbreakable. It's that inner circle is extreme. And then on the other side of the spectrum, maybe your inner circle is kind of discouraging, right? Maybe like those little jokes, and maybe if you're one of those jocksters that is very in shape, maybe think twice about those little jokes you're saying to the person that's you, like it may not be your intention, but that's like the last thing you want to do. Is you could be completely derailing, like, or slowing down someone's progress in their fitness journey. Instead, encourage them, lift them up.
There's no reason, if you have this mindset, to not want to see people win, in my opinion, right? Like we talk about it a lot, like wanting to see success out of other people.
Don't overthink it. Don't start beating yourself up. Just make that adjustment. Like it's like, you know what? I want the best for my friend. I'm going to start pulling them up. And like, also don't get offended if your friend's slow to the process and doesn't want to hop on the bandwagon and start.
That's the same thing to the stranger, right? Like, again, if you have been not the nicest person to people in the past, it's not too late for you either. Like we talked about last week. Like, just think about it a little bit, right? Or even like in the gym, I'm not saying you have to go up to someone who's new to the gym and be like, "Hey, Nick, if you need anything, I'm happy to help you." Whatever. Honestly, sometimes don't even do that. Just do nothing. Just go on about your workout. Do whatever. Just don't be an asshole.
That's all I'm gonna say. I guess I'm feeling, I'm usually not the homework one of the group, but I'm feeling some homework.
Give me some homework and some homework.
I got some homework. You too, buddy.
All right, cool. All right.
No, this is
What's the homework?
First, I'm going to talk to our jockster. That is there a hole in your cup?
Yeah, looks like it.
You're gonna fake sip it on the camera. First one goes to our jockster that is very new to the fitness journey or hasn't even started their fitness journey. I'm going to suggest, start slowly, maybe get on YouTube, Google and stuff. But all I want you to do is come up with a realistic number of push-ups, sit-ups, and how much distance you're going to walk or run.
Wow.
And these push-ups can be from your knees. You could fail them and have to restart after one. Even if you can't do one on your knee, I want you to try. That's it. Same thing with the sit-ups and same thing with the walk or the run. Just start. I'm sorry if it sucks and you're like, I don't want to do this.
Sorry.
You're doing it. You're going to do it and it's going to get easier. It's going to get easier and easier and easier. And let's just begin that journey.
Yeah.
Now, to our experienced jockster. Let's break some limitations. Let's push. Let's step up. Let's hit a new level. Let's get past any limitation that someone else put on us or we put on ourselves. Let's break that. Let's get to a new level.
Cool. So Nick has the intense homework. Johnny's got the little less intense.
If you say give him a walk,
I'm not saying get a walk. All right. So we're gonna start with our inexperienced jocksters. One, just start. Get out of your own head, right? Get out of your own head. That's the biggest thing. The mental barrier. do something, anything this week,
Mm-hmm.
anything. I don't care if it's going on a walk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what it is. Do something physically, or not if it's not physically. Eat a salad for lunch, right? Something. Do something to just kickstart this journey. Now, for our experienced doctors, I want you to encourage someone.
Ooh.
You've got all this knowledge, you've got this confidence, you're walking out of the gym with your pump. I don't care if you are going up to the newbie in the gym and saying, hey, good work, man. I've noticed you've been in here every day. Great work. Or if it's someone in your life who maybe just needs a little nudge, give them a nudge respectfully, out of love. Kickstart someone and encourage someone.
Yeah, and if you're the inexperienced jockster, let's start with John's homework first, and maybe hit that mental shift of like start believing you can do this.
The first step.
The first step, and then you come to Nikki's homework, and then you hit your push-ups, your sit-ups, and because we do have to make a change, right? A change. We can't just say we're gonna do it. It's time to take action. And then to that experienced jockster, you're gonna make a difference, make this world a better. That's why we started this. We're gonna make the world a better place, and it's gonna go through. You're responsible. Like this is your job too, as well as ours. So you're gonna do that, and then you're gonna dig. You're gonna get a big shovel,
get your shovel from Lowe's,
and you're digging. But let's make this world a better place. So with that, another solid episode in the books. I hate to do this, but I got to
plug.
Plug.
You're plugging something.
I don't. What?
That's what people like when there's like a sponsor or something like that.
Oh, okay, yeah, plug.
Yeah, plug.
All right. Well, I was gonna say if you guys could please, obviously we have really big goals, and we got to count on you guys too. Subscribe, like, comment, share this with your friends, share this with people that you think it'll benefit. We truly are doing this to make a difference, and I really am confident that we can do it.
Yeah.
So, but we need you guys. So please help us out. Thank you very much.
Let's start getting them engaged. Comment one physical thing that you have done this week.
My man. Oh, and no, that was very good. I like it.
Were you ready to give them more homework?
No, I like that. I like the comment one thing you've done. I just don't want people to start, I guess like there's no wrong thing you've done. Like if it's that first push up or the 50th mile, like we want to see it, and like you're taking a step in the right direction to that 1,000-mile journey, and we're here with you.
Yeah, we're here. All right. Thank you guys. Cheers.
You want to fake your sip again?
Yeah, I got nothing left.
Thanks, guys.